Welcome to the JCPod. I'm your host, Jaden Chandler Parnell, and hey, we ain't alone, baby. You see who I got with me. How you doing, my guy? My boy. The captain by a hook.
Yes, sir.
How we
I'm
doing?
good, man. I'm good. Episode 66. I see you.
I had to
I
look down
see
to make
you.
sure it's right. Oh, yeah. We're getting there slowly. I'm not as big as you because, you got 5 days a week, so you're just banging out them episodes, but slowly getting there. Yeah, basically.
Quality over quantity, my friend.
Oh, yeah. And it's just, I'm a little lazy. No, I'm just playing. We're basically gonna get right into it. Basically sum up. I got my boy here. You can see by the title. We're basically gonna give and by mainly ours, I mean his. We're basically gonna give out rankings for the teams we feel like what they're gonna be for the rest of the season. I was originally just gonna do like a draft, like I said. I had some gimmick stuff I wanted to do, but my boy over here gave a great idea. He said grade evaluation, something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
There's something similar to that. I can't think of the exact words for God knows why right now, but it's basically along those lines. I'm sitting there. It's like, you know what? Let's do a good old fashioned tier system. So basically, we got to break them down into 5 tiers. First one, playoff locks. So basically, I think that pretty much explains itself. Teams are gonna make the playoffs. At pretty much like no matter what they do the second half of the season, they just got to worry about September and October. Then we got some wild card flirters. Those are the teams that have a chance to make the playoffs, but if you look at them, they might have some trouble because they're like, for example, a team that I'm probably going to put there right off the bat, Yankees. That's like teams like that where it's like they have a good shot, but you don't know what's going on right now, and there's a chance it could fall. The third one, this is about the middle. This is like the edge. This is basically the teams that are, if you look at it, they're one or two bad series away from their season being in like the next tier, which is DEFCON 1, which is these teams are basically one or two series away from their season's over, and then the series, I mean not the series, the tier we're going to start with, because this will take like 20 seconds, is the see you later tier. These are the teams that are butt cheeks, buns. Their season's over. They got no chance of making the playoffs. Before I let you go, I'm going to name the three teams I think are automatically on there. Feel free to fill in with the rest of yours. We got the Royals, Athletics, Nationals, and take it away from there. Who else do you got in the see you later tier? Because y'all suck.
Yeah, I hate to say it, man. There's a few teams this season with no shot of playoffs right now, and I don't think I mean, no shot. When I say no shot, zero chance they are going to dance. I like the three teams you threw out there. You got to throw the Colorado Rockies in there. I'd be surprised if their
Forgot
team
them.
gets over 60 wins. They're at 34 right now. Got one of the toughest schedules also, which sucks for them to even try and make a run. But they're 15 games out of the wild card, 18 games out of the division. Um, I want to say the Pirates just because of injuries. I feel like
Ooh.
they came in hot. They're 8.5 games back right now from the division and eight back from the wild card. I just don't see them making a run without O'Neal Cruz healthy. I don't see them making a run this year. I feel like all the momentum early in the season kind of fell off. If you look at their splits, first month and a half, 2 months, they were first in the division. Now they're right there at the bottom, hanging out with the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's some bad company.
Man, please. Also, a team with zero chance, and I mean zero chance to make the playoffs. And you can mark my words, the New York Metropolitans.
Ooh, man. I thought you were going to maybe put them in DEFCON 1. Thought maybe, just
No,
maybe.
they. I ain't gonna lie. I probably should have if I really.
Well,
I
what
just.
makes you think they're done then? Obviously, for those of you who don't know and haven't been following along with his channel between mine and his, big time Mets fan over here. So this guy's been up close and personal with those New York Metropolitans all season. So what's your reasoning for like why are they dead? What's going on?
Pitching, man. Pitching's the biggest factor to me.
Before
Of
you go real
course,
quick,
any.
hold on. Before to add on to the pitching, is it all just because of Edwin Diaz? Is it all just because of him, or is it way more than that? Because like everyone, what's going on?
I think the bullpen is okay. I mean, they got out of they got a few guys in the bullpen. If they can get to the seventh or eighth inning with the lead, I think they're good. I think their problem is they don't have one starter. You got Scherzer, you got Verlander. Any given day, those two can go out there and look like an ace, but it's rare this season that they have looked like an ace.
Yeah, that is true.
Starting pitching just all around. I mean, it's hard to win games when you go down 4-0 in the first 4 or 5 innings. It's hard to win games when your best hitters are slumping hard. But like I said, even if these bats get hot, get heavy, and start rolling, the pitching is just unsustainable. Cookie Carrasco, I hate to say it, I love him with all my heart. not a big league starter anymore. Doug Peterson had a decent season last year, worse this season. A lot of money was put into Scherzer and Verlander being that 1-2 guy that every week you got 2 wins off of them. And like I said, it's hard to say they haven't shown up. I mean, they're 47 years old, each of them. So I'm sure they could even have a turnaround and have a hot the last 2 months of the season, given their experience. But I just don't see it as a whole coming together. I don't see any urgency out of Buck, which I know he knows more about baseball than I do. He's been around the block 300 times. He knows it's a 162 game season. But at some point, I feel like there has to be some kind of click, some kind of fire, something to get them going. They won the last 2 games going into the All Star break, so I could be speaking prematurely. But the only chance they have to do it is a wild card spot, and a 7 out of the wild card. And when you look at the National League, even in the National League East alone, you got the Marlins who are underrated. I can't wait to talk about them. You got the
Hot.
Phillies, who, believe it or not, 21-9 over their last 30,
Hot.
third best team over that stretch. And of course, you know what they did last season. But if you look at the rest of the National League, you got teams in the West, Arizona, San Francisco. I'd even give San Diego a shot to make the playoffs before the Mets right now. It's going to be about 4 or 5 teams fighting over
Man.
those 3 wild card spots. You got Milwaukee and the Cubs in the Central. You can throw the Reds in there, even though they're in the division lead right now.
Only by
I
one,
just,
though.
yeah, they play the Brewers this weekend too.
Ooh.
I can't wait for that. But I just don't see the Mets out of all the teams I just listed being one of those teams that makes a wild card. And I'd bet my life and my mother's life uh, that the Mets don't cover the 18.5 game lead going up against the Braves.
Man. Yeah, I don't think they win in the division. 42 and 48, Braves 16-29. There's a big difference right there. If you're looking at a basketball game and it's 60 to 42, you're leaning back in your chair not feeling too good.
No,
You
no,
added the
sir.
Cardinals, by the way, to the SIA list as well, right? Well, I know you brushed over them quickly. I didn't know if you had them there or not.
No, I actually got a surprise for you with them. I just said they over there hanging out with the Cardinals, the
Okay,
Pirates.
okay, okay.
I actually think Cardinals, as much as I just talked about the National League being strong, I think the Cardinals, and I know you're going to call me crazy. I've been talking about the Cardinals all year, and they have not done anything for me to keep talking about them. But I love the Cardinals, man. This lineup is too good for them to lose games. When you look at the Mets, I don't think their lineup is this good. The Cardinals actually have a great lineup, 1 through 9. Their problem also is pitching. But when you got they don't have a problem with the cap space like the Mets do. The Cardinals can go out there and make a deal over the next 3 weeks and get 1 or 2 pitchers, beef up the bullpen a little bit, and make a strong run down this last 2 months of the season. I don't know if you remember 2 seasons ago, and I'm sure you do. Cardinals had one of the best last 2 months of the season to come back from like 20 games back and steal the wild card spot from the Cubs.
Question:
Um,
who's a pitcher that you think the Cardinals should go after if they're able to?
Man, now that is a hard question. Honestly, I've been thinking about that all year. I've been thinking about it all day also. Um, See, there's some teams that I don't know if they're going to get rid of the pitcher. In a dream world, though, if the Cardinals could pick up an Alex Cobb from the Giants, or if the Cardinals could pick up, he hasn't really been great this season, but like a Yu Darvish from the
What about Shane
Padres,
Bieber? There's rumors that he's on the market. Would he be a good fit for them? You think?
he'd be an amazing fit for the Cardinals. I just don't see the Guardians right now. They're in the lead. That's only a half a game lead. I just don't see them giving up their best player when I mean they still got a chance this season. That's the hard thing about baseball. I can see them getting rid of Bieber in the offseason. I don't think they're going to make any kind of move right now. I could be wrong though. I mean, he's probably the number one player pitching wise that teams are going to go after because the Guardians are 45 and 45, and hopefully teams can talk them out of selling by giving them some prospects. And I
They're
mean,
on the
Shane Bieber
fence.
just up until this season was one of the best pitchers in the league. I really don't know what the drop off was for him. I don't have the stats in front of me, but uh, the Cardinals, if they can get a Shane Bieber and then grab 1 or 2 more guys for the bullpen, and maybe I feel like they need a fifth starter that nobody even knows about or talks about. Maybe they can trade for a young guy, or maybe they got a young guy in their farm system they can call up. I should have did a little more research on that. Um, but when you look at the Reds, all their pitching is young, and I know we'll get to that in a minute. Uh, I don't know what the point I was even about to make, but the Cardinals, man, if they could just get some pitching, I don't
Yeah,
know.
they do need
You
some
look
pitching
at
though.
you look at their splits, and they got a losing record against everybody. So it's hard to even say the Cardinals might make a run. But
Minus
I put
33 run differential too, by the way.
that is tough. I'd put them in the DEFCON more than I'd put them in the see you later.
I feel you. So I'll save them on since we already kind of talked about them. So do you have any more CEOs or so? I'll read them out right now. We got the Nationals, the Royals, Rockies, the Athletics, the Buccos, and the Mets. Do you got anybody else to add to that list, or do you think that's pretty good for that tier?
I mean, you could add every team in the AL Central outside of whatever team wins it. I know that sounds crazy, but whatever team lucks up and wins this series, this division at 72 wins, is going to go to the playoffs, and nobody else will.
Crazy. It's like the basically the NFC South of this past season. Just like going to the last week, they're trying to lose.
Whoa.
Hey, you should know out of
Yeah, I know.
everybody. So you should know out of everybody how that division was rough, man. Hey, your Saints are favored to do it this year though, so I know we aren't talking about football just yet, but we'll get some
I'm
Saints
excited,
talk in there.
man. I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't excited. The only other two teams I want to throw in to see you later, and I know this is a tough one because they are only 4 games out and 5 games out of the wild card.
Uh-oh.
But Seattle Mariners and the Los Angeles Angels, just being in the AL West, they're not going to win the division. It's going to be Rangers or the Astros. I think it'll be the Astros. But the Rangers did just pick up. We was talking about it before we started Chapman, which I thought whoever picked up Chapman, like in my head, and I mean it's weird to think about sports like this, but I thought the Diamondbacks should get him. But I thought whoever got Chapman, that gives them one more series that they should go, if that makes any sense. Like if they should be a wild card team, I think now they're going to win the wild card and go to that next round.
Just because it saves them an arm, or because he can
Yeah,
save them extra innings?
not only does it, you put a guy like Chapman back there, even if he's not your go-to closer every day. When you do put him out there, he's throwing 103. I know he can get wild. I know Yankees fans hate him. I think he was spiteful to the Yankees. He's been fabulous with the Royals. I think he'll be fabulous down there in Texas with the Rangers. I think it's more his speed down there in Texas, not to be racist or anything. A little more of a Cuban Mexican culture down there in the South.
Yeah.
Um, but I also now all the other guys that you had, they can take a deep breath. Like, all right, they don't have to count on me every day to go in the eighth and ninth inning. This guy's gonna take a few of those. This guy's gonna take a few of those, and now we can kill him by committee even more. Even though we best team in the AL West already. Rangers have one of the most fabulous turnarounds this season alone. Usually, you get one of them. We've had the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, and the Orioles, and it started off where everybody was talking about the Pirates in the same light as being teams that's completely turned it around, and that's rare to see. But I think the Rangers, out of those teams, are the most serious one, especially with the addition of Chapman. Man, I mean, he just gives you 4 or 5 more wins the rest of the season, and he's gonna come in one of those playoff games when you need him most and throw 103 and strike 3 batters out. And it sucks to say. I mean, I don't want to put salt in the wound, but the Yankees, man, missed him extremely after all that happened last year with Aaron Boone and him getting eventually kicked off of the team.
Just dumb. I mean, like, you kind of had to do it when it kind of came down to the situation, but just dumb it even came down to it. You're right. I think that is true. Because is he their closer now, for sure? Like, he's the closer? Do they have somebody better? Because I don't know what their bullpen, like, I'm not a Rangers expert, so I don't know what their bullpen's looking like.
Yeah, again, I'd have to. I don't want to lie and spread any news, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be, if not the everyday closer, he's going to be closing about 40 to 60% of their
Yeah,
games.
he's going to be basically right there. Let me, yeah, I'm with you. I was just looking at the wild card to talk about it a little bit for the peeps. So we got Orioles, I guess, are 5 games ahead at 54-35. Astros are 50-41, 5 games back, tied with the Blue Jays at 50-41. Yankees right outside, 49-42. Red Sox 48-43, and then right behind them, is that what, 6 games back? Yeah, 6. I don't know if it's oh no, 4 games. Sorry, 4 games and 5 games back of the wild card of the 45-44 and 45-46 Mariners and Angels. So I mean, I think you got a really good point right there, and yeah, especially when you're looking at the American League and like looking at the division. I mean, it's either going to be the Astros or Rangers. I think with you, and I think a lot of people are right there thinking the Astros are about to steal it from the Rangers late, sitting there enjoying like everyone's Rangers this, Rangers that. Yeah, so that just leaves like almost no room for failure for the Mariners or Angels. And for the Angels, I know failure for them is going to be a lot worse because they aren't trading Shohei. So when they lose him for basically nothing, potentially, yeah, that's going to be
See, that's
rough.
the thing I don't get, man. I don't get why the Mets did it a year ago, not trading DeGrom.
You
I
just
don't get
can't,
why they.
I think. Like, it's
Why?
just like, but I mean, like, if we're on a real world, I think it's just like the manager for his job wise. Like, I feel like if he trades Shohei, that's basically him conceding, like, yeah, I'm not going to be here soon, potentially, just because, like, because nobody's going to look at it. Because think about it, like, I mean, as sports people, we like, I'm with you. I think they probably should have at this point because like they're the Angels, but I think just like trading him and admitting defeat, I think that's just going to be a really bad look on him, and then he's shipped out and everything. So I think just for his job safety, he's going to say all the right things. They're going to call up all the young guys and try to make a push. I mean, we could be totally wrong, and they could go on a 45-game win streak, but with Trout out, Rodon out, and Shohei with the blister, I mean, it looks rough. So I think those are all really good teams for the SIA category because, yeah. And then I love our little note with the AL Central besides the division winner. I love that added note at the bottom.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. As dumb as it sounds, I wouldn't be surprised if the damn Royals ended up winning this thing. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all. It would be crazy to see. But anybody, I mean, nobody wants it. All five of these teams are selling. All five of these teams are getting ready for 2024. Outside the Twins, maybe. You talked about the Guardians selling Bieber. I didn't hear those rumors. If those rumors are true, that's them saying like,
I
no,
don't. I'd say
please,
I don't
we
know if it's
don't,
for sure true,
we
but
don't want the division, please.
I've heard. I'd say I've just heard that being floated out there. Like I don't know if it's more of like a they should, or if it's more of like a hey, let's maybe think about actually doing this because
I
probably
think
should be
that's
done.
I think that's people looking at Shane Bieber and saying, man, if he was on this team, how much better would they be? And it makes sense when you look at it from that perspective. But as the
Probably
Guardians, there's no way in hell they
they
should get
shouldn't.
rid of Bieber.
They should not at all with how close they are with a chance. I feel like we spent way too long, honestly, on the bad teams, but we had some awesome rants in there. Awesome rants in there, awesome burials. So we love to hear it. So we're gonna move on to the next tier. That is DEFCON 1. So these are the teams that they are like. We just gave an example. The Cardinals. These are the teams that are a good 2 or 3 series losses away from absolutely their season's over, and they should probably look to sell. You have the Cards there, a team that like has been screaming DEFCON 1. You're about to see them scroll up top here. The White Sox. That's who I personally have there. Man, you want to talk about some roughness, but I'll let you go ahead. Who do you have in this category? I should say Cards, I think, and White Sox would be a really good fit for me. I think I like both of those.
Yeah, I like both of them, man. The Cardinals definitely going to be playing with their backs against the wall the rest of this season. 11 games back from a wild card spot.
Man,
I mean, they could really, if they could just win 65% of their games down the stretch, they might have a chance the last week to steal it from somebody. But that's even asking a lot
I
in
say
a
yeah, they
game
got a
of
lot of work
baseball.
cut out for them right now.
So I do agree with them. I think I just talked about the Pirates, just talked about Mets. I think the Cubs are right there. I think the Padres are right there. I think those are two teams, and it's crazy to say because I could also see the
Mm.
Padres going on a run like they did last season and almost making it to the damn World Series.
So do
But
you think the
I don't.
Padres are kind of like? Sorry to cut you off. Do you think the Padres are like a borderline DEFCON 1 could be moved to like an edge of the line team if they can just get like one good series together?
Definitely. I mean, they're only 6 games back from the wild card. Uh, Two teams that are ahead of you in the wild card are two teams in your division that you're going to see a lot in the Diamondbacks and the Giants. Honestly, I
Which
don't know how
helps.
the heck the Giants are 49 or 41. I
They
think
got
they'll
really
be.
hot out of nowhere. It feels like all of a sudden like I don't know how you see it, but personally for me, all of a sudden I just went from like all right, I just can't touch Giants games. All of a sudden it's like all right, we're betting the Giants every day because they're just 20 and like 8 and 20 and 10. It's just out of nowhere. Pulling a really
No,
hot month.
19 and 11 last 30 games going into the All Star
Felt better
break.
than that, honestly too. That's what's
It
crazy.
did. Yeah, Padres down there 15 and 15 their last 30. They got the best lineup in baseball. And I say that jokingly, but I also say that seriously. Like if we was on a get on a video game and you telling me I could put Machado, Tatis, Bogarts, Soto, Cronenworth, what's your boy Profar, and I could put all those guys on one
That's a
team,
squad.
I'm winning every game, bro. So I put the Padres on that list. I wouldn't be surprised though. That's the one team I would not be surprised if they actually do make a run. Again, only 6 games out of a wild card spot, and I don't see the Giants with the talent that they have keeping up. And it's hard to even say like it's the Padres. They because they do. I keep saying it. They have the best lineup to me in baseball outside of the Blue Jays and maybe the Astros. Braves for sure. But those 4 teams, and you can tell how weird it is when 3 of those teams are successful and one of them is not.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has something to do with karma or if it has something to do with something bigger than baseball, but I feel like something happened in San Diego with the Padres organization that we don't know about. And I'm saying that jokingly, but it's just no makes no sense that
Just
they
some weird
are as
voodoo.
bad as they have been the last 3 seasons.
You think it's just some weird voodoo over there or something? Like, do you think they, like, conspiracy theory right now, do you think they gave somebody a wrong deal? Do you think they backstabbed somebody? Like, what do we think it is? Like, or do you just think it's just something, like, along those lines?
I don't want to even say nothing. I think it's something darker than that. I think the owner, and like I said, I don't want to get too dark.
Ooh,
You know
owner
what I
stuff.
mean?
Yeah, we'll leave
Bad
it right
guy.
there.
Bad
Ooh.
guy. But I don't know. I don't even know who the owner is. I
No,
can't
I have
even
no
give you a
clue
name.
either.
But when you put a team together like this and they just continually, I mean, last year they had their little run in the playoffs, which was beautiful to see for San Diego. I've been rooting for San Diego the last 8 seasons to get it together, and it's just weird though, man. I am one of those people. I'm from New Orleans. I believe in spirits and energy and voodoo, and I
I
believe if
mean,
you do wrong, you wrong things will be done. And this team just don't make no sense to me because on paper they're the best team in baseball. They should be right there with the Dodgers, a game or two back. It just don't make sense to me, and
it's
I don't
because
see
of
it ever
Tatis.
will.
No, I'm just playing. I don't
Steroids,
know. No, I'm just playing. It's not from steroids. Let the boys juice. No.
right?
let's hit.
I mean,
Let's
they're
see some dingers.
5-15 in one-run games and 0-8 in extra innings. They just don't have whatever it is to close out
I was about to
games.
say maybe. Sorry if I interrupt you right here, but maybe I think it's just one of those things. Maybe they just don't got it this year. Like it's one of those things. Like the Vikings were a perfect example of the opposite of this NFL
Yeah,
season, where it's like, man, these boys are getting everything. They get. I mean, the thing that sticks in my head, game of the year, dropped fumble on the 1 yard line to win a game they should have lost after they get stuffed on the goal line. I think they had 9 games with one score that they won. I mean, the Giants were in a similar boat. It's just like Giants of the NFL. It's just crazy. So you might be onto something where it's just some bad voodoo or whatever's causing it. They just like in these close games, they just aren't getting it. And I'm not gonna say it's because all those dudes are making hella money, but they are
it
making
don't
hella
make no
money. That is
damn
pretty
sense, bro. It don't make no
wild.
sense.
They should be way better than they are. I think I saw they're 42, 49 or something like that. I could be
Yeah,
wrong. It's something.
43, 47.
I would just say something right there. Yeah, they're bad, weirdly bad.
And it's crazy because they blowing the saves all year and they picked up the best closer the last 3 seasons and he goes to San Diego and Josh Hader and turned into the worst closer in the league.
Maybe the
And
Brewers
stuff
knew
like that.
something.
Nah, that
Maybe they
is
just knew
crazy.
something.
That's what everybody was saying. They probably saw that boy in practice like he been throwing 85 all week, boss. Time
It's
to
like,
get
hey,
him out of here.
that fastball ain't pumping. Let's get him. Let's juice up the arm a little bit, and then we'll get him out of here. But no, do you
Get
got
this
anybody?
boy up out of here.
You got anybody else to add to that list? We got the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Padres. Did you add the White Sox to it officially, or do we have the White Sox in the see you later?
I
Or do
can't
you have
do
them
it, bro.
higher? Or do you have them higher up?
I can't do it, man. The White Sox. I
Woo!
still, I still believe, man. I
We'll hear
know I
about them
shouldn't.
White Sox later then. We'll hear about them later.
I know I shouldn't. But
You got?
yeah, I think that's it, man. I think we get to the next level
That's not
because
bad.
now we're
So,
gonna start. We're gonna start getting into some actual playoff teams.
oh yeah. So as you say, so just to run it off real quick. So some of the teams, these are basically the teams that are like dead. Cardinal and I'll say our opinion, but it's mainly like 85% this guy's. I'm agreeing with a lot of what he says. Basically, honestly, he's got some really good points. But the Cardinals, Cubs, Padres, Angels, Nationals, the Buccos, Royals, Mets, Rockies, the A's, Seattle, and the loser of the AL Central. All those people probably are not going to make a playoffs. Starting now, these are teams that are like, they have a chance, but they really need to start getting some stuff going. I would assume, for me, if I don't have the White Sox in DEFCON 1 with you, I would put them here, because I think they're one of those teams that are close. I think the Reds if the Reds are in the edge, they're at the very top because they're a borderline wild card, but they're still early. I want to see. The Brewers are probably in this category, I would say. Teams like let's see, maybe, not the Phillies, maybe, but like, maybe that. I don't want to say Astros either, but like maybe Yankees, stuff, teams like that. Who you got in this category? Because I don't really know for sure.
Nah, this is a tough category because it's like you're either DEFCON 1 or you're flirting with the wild card spot
Right?
in my eyes. But if you talk about teams that are living on the edge, you got to go to any team in the AL East. Uh, Tampa Bay Rays, they put a lock on it early. I honestly think they're going to be one of the worst teams the second half of the season, and it's going to be one of the worst collapses we've ever seen. I think the Orioles, I think they continue to be hot, but I really think something going on with these Red Sox, man. I think they're flirting with it.
I
I
did hear
definitely
some
think they can make a
rumblings.
run. I would put the Yankees right here. I hate to say it, just too many injuries and too much drama.
You are right though. I mean,
I I don't know how they've held on to be 49 and 42.
Aaron Judge is out for forever. It seems like every day they're like, we don't know, his toe hurts.
Yeah,
I get it because he's 6'7", but they're just, I mean, we're getting nothing from that boy. So it's,
yeah. I don't even know what he hurt. You just said his toe, but I didn't even. I just thought them. I
I
hate to
think
say
so.
it.
I think they're saying
I just
now
love to
eventually it's
see it.
coming out. It's like turf toe. So basically, it's like the equivalent of that to NFL, and they don't have that in baseball. So it's like hard. And the biggest thing to begin with is your big toe. I think is like top 3 toe you need for sure. I know it's top 3, but I think it's like top 2 maybe. I think it's top 2 maybe honestly. But it's one of those things where he's 6'7", 400 pounds, not 400, probably like 240, 250. But he's a big boy, and you need that foot to run. So I think I'm agree with you there. The pitching, Garrett Cole's doing awesome. The other guys are doing good, but when they're doing good, the hitting is just not there, so they have to be perfect. When the hitting's doing great, one of the hitters are having like usually a rough day sometimes, and when it's all going right, they win a game 3-2, because
Yeah,
they have 14 DHs on the roster and no outfielders. They got Bader in the outfield, Judge in the outfield, 14 DHs and Rizzo. That's basically the roster offensively. I mean, it's just rough. They need I don't want to say a roster rehaul, but they need some guys who actually play the field. I don't want to say they need to focus on defense. We don't have to stick to the Yankees, by the way, at all, because I
no,
know
we
they're pretty
can't.
much they're butt
I
cheeks,
love
but
them.
they need a lot of fixing. That's basically why I'm saying we don't got to stick to them. There's a lot that needs fixed. We can go on for forever. They're basically. I mean, if Aaron Judge is literally the difference in you scoring like almost 3 runs, I think that's a problem. I mean, always good, but it shouldn't be that good. Like he should be max like 1.5, not 3.
No, you're the New York freaking Yankees, man. Put together a freaking ball club.
For real. Trade for Soto. I heard that's out there. They should probably do it. Will they? I don't know. Should it work? I mean, he plays the outfield. He's not a DH, so there's something. But
I
ah.
don't know. I don't know who they need. I don't think Soto will fix it or fit in. I hate to say it, man, but baseball,
Oh,
you got to have that.
if you don't know, by the way, Nestor Cortez is out too till like August with some shoulder issue too. So that adds even more of a. I totally
It,
forgot about that till just now. I just thought about that and it's like, oh, they lose another guy. They lose one of their better pitchers too. Dumb.
oh, let's just put it like this: Yankees living on the edge. That's what you call it. I call it big trash. I think that's the only
Big
team
trash.
I would put living on the edge. But you could also add, and it's crazy to even say this, you could also add the Twins or the Guardians.
I was this is what when I was thinking of more of the edges. I honestly was thinking more of like because I was originally like honestly when we were gonna do tier I was gonna do 4, but I was thinking of the edge teams. Like honestly, the edge teams are probably like all day. I was thinking both centrals honestly from both
Yeah,
divisions. That's honestly
yeah.
why I added that category for just both centrals because I think I'm with you because since anybody can win that division, all those teams have very tough decisions. Like do we sell or do we have because they can go for it. I mean maybe they don't do anything in the playoffs, but hey, you get a hot. I mean we just saw what the Miami Heat did. You just got to get hot at the right time.
No, I agree, man. I think anybody in the Central besides the Royals, and I think anybody
Pretty much.
in the other Central besides the Cubs, not the Cubs, the Pirates.
Yeah, them losing O'Neal Cruz, that was tough because I don't want to say took all their wind out their sail, but I mean they lost a lot of good with that guy. And I mean I don't think this year was going to be much for them anyway. I think this was still like a year to like a prep year. I think we're going to see more of them next year, but just man, losing that guy just sucks. That just terrible for your team. Not enough can be said about that.
So yeah, living on the edge, man. Guardians, Twins, Yankees, and part of me wants to throw the Rays on there because I feel like they see getting hotter and hotter at the top of that division.
I mean, I think that's a really good spot. I was gonna say if that's good with you, I was gonna move to the wild card flirt because that's where I have the Rays. Because I think honestly, I think the Orioles are gonna catch them in this division. They went into the break. I don't want to say cold, but they went into the break with a stretcher. They had the crutches. They were in the wheelchair. I mean, they were just trying any way they could to like not walk into the break because they were just. I don't know what's going on with them. They were just struggling. It seems like a little bit. They always get injured too because their players play so hard because of the system or whatever. So there's that to worry about. I probably have the Blue Jays here as well because they're just weird. Manoa finally had a good start, but it's against the Tigers, so we'll see what's going on with him. I'd probably, honestly, the wild card for it, I'd probably put basically the whole AL East except for probably the Yankees here because if I would, the Yankees are at the very last team in there. Like they are getting in the club at 11:59 before the doors close. And then yeah, past that, I mean, that's about what I'm thinking for that tier. What you got?
Yeah, man, you bring up. I love the Blue Jays, man. I think the Blue Jays. I think they're more of a lock to make the playoffs. And I know that sounds crazy, but I also think you talking about the Rays. That's what I wanted to touch on. The Rays, like you said, man, they're crawling right now. 3-7 over their last 10. You go over their last 30. They're 14-16. I think that
Mediocre.
continues more. I think 14-16 continues the rest of the season for them. And I honestly, I want to say the O's, but I don't think they have the experience to really take over that division. I'm looking at teams like Toronto and teams like the Red Sox. I know 9 games out sounds like a lot. Still,
2 games a
75
month, and
games
I
left
mean
in
they're
baseball.
right there. 2 games a month these next 2 months, and they're only four back.
Yeah, anybody can get hot. And the Red Sox, I don't know why, I don't know how. They're one of the streakiest teams, but they are on a 5-game winning streak. They are 17-13, as well as the Blue Jays 17-13, as
Ooh.
well as the Orioles 17-13 over their last 30. All three of those teams, I think, will be fighting it out for that division, and I think the Rays are going to be down there with the Yankees, looking like what the hell just happened.
So you're gonna like to hear these numbers. So you said you think the AL for the AL East, you think the Red Sox are a real shot. Like, all right, so people. So I'm gonna give you a little scenario. Your grandma just gave you got a $50 bet. So to win the division, you got the Orioles at plus 550 or plus 550. The Rays at minus 300 still. Just want to share that minus 300. But you got the Orioles at plus 550, Yanks at plus 950, Blue Jays at 1100, Red Sox at 8,000. My immediate lean is the Blue Jays. I'm gonna lie to you because if you want to go experienced in the division, I'm with you. The Orioles probably don't have a. I mean, but the Orioles are right there. If I want to go for like best odds with best chance, I like Blue Jays. If I want to go for the hope, I like the Orioles. And if I just want to go for odds, man, plus 8,000. I know you would like that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I already got a lot of skin on these Blue Jays. This is who I picked before the season. I just took it off the wall. Mets, Padres, Brewers, Blue Jays, White
Hey,
Sox. Horrible. But I still believe in the Blue Jays, the White Sox, and the Brewers. But I would go down with the Blue Jays right now again.
plus 1,100.
I'd probably put 20 on the Red Sox and 30 on the Blue Jays.
Hey, that's gonna be a happy, happy man. I feel like it's. I mean, I won't lie to you. After this show, when we were talking, you were talking about the division. I'm like, let me look those odds real quick. You might
No,
see
I'm glad
another
you did.
future up here in a minute. You might see another one because,
Right.
like, man,
No, I
there were
wish
some good.
I
There were
looked
some
at the
good ones.
odds before we did this. I just was looking at talent.
Yeah, no,
I haven't looked at any
I'm
odds.
glad you didn't look at the odds before because that's what I wanted to pop them on a little bit live. We'll go through. I mean, we'll talk if you want to talk Central real quick. We'll throw it up. I mean, Tigers 3,900, White Sox 2,500, Guardians 145. We already know you're on the White Sox. We'll wait for you to talk to them about them for a minute before you throw more money on them. But are the White Sox this category for you? Are you brave enough to move them up one more? We're going to talk about them later. Like they the last act, or we got a little bit of time for them now.
You know what's crazy to say? I think strictly, and it's gonna sound crazy until you actually realize what I'm saying. Whoever doesn't win the AL Central is not getting a wild card spot.
Oh, not at all.
So I wouldn't put them in the flirting with the wild card spot only because for them to make the playoffs, they're gonna have to make the playoffs. And I don't know if I'm bold enough to put them up there, but I will tell you this: I'm excited about this trade deadline. I think they got a few players who have been called superstars for the last 3 years who have honestly been everything but superstars, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can get back for him. My only disappointment is I'm pretty sure the way baseball works, they're not going to get back big league talent. They're going to get back minor league talent that's going to take a year or two to develop.
They just got a I don't know if you saw, they just got Mike Mayers from the Royals.
I actually like that a lot, man.
I just say I just wanted to ask. He's a good reliever. I think he has a 6.16 ERA, which right off the bat scares you a little bit. But without looking at the numbers, I'm sure there's more story than just the 6.16. But yeah, I mean, if the White Sox are right there, if they actually are willing, the thing I'm with you is, are they willing to actually make the trades and try to get back some like all right guys or?
Man, I hate to say it, man. Eloy Jimenez failed. Giolito failed. Cease on got a C.
I heard
Tim
Giolito might be
Anderson,
gone. Basically,
please,
I heard he
please,
might
run
be
his
gone.
favorite
Tim
White Sox
Anderson's
ever.
50-50.
That's the one that breaks my heart. TA was the heart and soul of that team in 2020, 2021, 2022. I mean, Jose Abreu was really the heart and soul, but TA was the guy that the fans fell in love with after they fell in love with Abreu in 18, 19. The thing that sucks about the White Sox, man, and I don't have to get on it too long, it feels like in 2019 and 2020, we were all excited about this rebuild. Jimenez, Anderson, Moncada, Abreu, Giolito, Cease, Kopech. Like, we're supposed to be the best team in baseball right now. That's what 2020 said. 2023, White Sox are supposed to be the best team in baseball. And it sucks that not only have not one of them panned out. No, yeah, that's what sucks. Not one of them have panned out. I mean, Tim Anderson, certified superstar. Jose,
Man.
what's his name? Luis Robert. Y'all
Yeah,
call him Robert. I call him
Robert.
Robert.
They say Robert. I don't know which one it is. I just assume Robert because he. I don't want to like you said,
There's
not
no
being
S.
racist. I just assume that it's.
Now that's Roberts for sure, but I still call him Robert. He's even came out and said it's Robert, but I don't think he knows
Oh
it now.
shit.
That boy, you know that boy. But
He's
he
hurt
has
right
all
now,
the
I
pop in
think.
the world. Man, the motherfucker hurt himself stretching. Him and Eloy, bro. I mean, it's to a point where I'm tired of rooting for him. Like, I hate to even say it. Package them two together. Go bring Shohei over here, man. Fuck it.
That being said, this guy has a lot of tickets on the White Sox to win the division. So take
A
what you
lot of
say.
tickets on the White Sox.
Take what you say with a grain of salt because that boy is torn right now.
No, that's the thing.
We can get you back in a week, and you'd be saying the other side about how much you love Tim Anderson,
I
Giolito's
love
the
Tim
man.
Anderson. I'd absolutely love Tim Anderson. He's the one guy I think they shouldn't trade. I think
I hope
everybody
they
else
don't.
should be traded.
Honestly, they should. He should be. I think since Abreu's not, they should make him a White Sox for life, or at least try to. I think this is a whole other debate we can have in sports later. They need to try to do that more.
That's
I don't
the
know
thing,
why they
though, real
love getting
quick.
rid of people.
The two things I'm gonna say about the White Sox to end it, I do have a lot of money on them to win this division.
That's one.
I am putting more money on them to win this division as we speak.
You got a shit ton of money on them.
Yeah, I have a lot of money on the White Sox to win this
Big
division.
bag. Big bag.
Started betting it at plus 17. It dropped all the way down to plus 800. Now it's back up to plus 2,500, which is crazy to say. Part of me hates it, but part of me loves it because I still got 12 days. I don't know if I cut off or not, but I'm betting this till July 24th every time the number goes up. And it was weird when I started this plan in early June. It was like, all right, as long as the number's over 700, I'm gonna bet it. And they just been worse and worse and worse and worse. And the number's just like
I thought
forcing
you
me
said
to
it
bet
was
it.
like, well, hey, it's over 700, I
Yeah.
guess.
So it's like I gotta stick to what I planned and cut them off in 12 days with a finale of a big ticket on them in person, going to get a paper ticket. I got most of it locked up in online books. But I started betting these White Sox. There was like 29-14 or something, and I said, you know what? If anybody's gonna win this division, White Sox have the most talent in this damn division. Well, since then they have done nothing but prove me wrong. So I don't know where to put the White Sox. They're kind of that one team for me. They're my favorite team. I'm a huge Mets fan, but the White Sox is the one team that I don't know. I used to joke that they're my favorite team because you could bet against them every day, and that was back in the 2000 teens. And then 2019, Giolito's on that sticky stuff, starting to go hard. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hold on, nah, hold on, nah. And then the sticky stuff gets banned, and every one of our pitching prospects goes from ace to last
Butt
place.
cheeks.
It's horrible, man. It's
I will
horrible to
say
see a
though.
whole organization get just ran through like that.
I will say though. Shout out that boy Carlos Rodon for the White Sox. Watched him throw a no hitter, so that's pretty cool. But no, I'm with
Yep.
you, man. They're one of those weird. The White Sox are one of those weird teams where it's like, and maybe it's because I'm a partial fan of them too, but they do have so much talent. It's like, what is going on? They're like, I don't want to say they're the Padres of the AL because the Padres are way better than them, but I mean, like talent wise, I mean they're pretty damn close, I would say.
No, it pisses me off. And you look at the division, and it's like, bro,
And the
y'all
division's
let the
terrible.
Tigers have a better record than y'all. The
The Tigers,
Tigers.
and aren't they just? And it's like Miguel Cabrera's last season, and nobody's talking about it basically.
Yeah, that breaks my
And
heart. I thought he was gonna have like a Pujols like
I can't
farewell.
believe they aren't, man. I don't know what's going on. I thought they would too.
I thought he'd get voted in the All Star game and everything. Just as
I wonder. That makes me
legend.
maybe he's playing another year then. I don't know. Unless he's
Nah,
like for sure said he's
he said
done.
this is last year, bro. There's nobody give a fuck. I
I
think
was
part of
gonna
it
say
is
they
he ain't
just
been good in
that
Lord
is
knows
fair.
how long,
Yeah,
and
that
the
is a
other
fair
part of
point.
it is I don't think like he reached all his milestones last year. Like last year, it was like, oh, Miggy hits his 500th home run. Oh, Miggy gets his
Yeah, that is
3,000th hit.
true.
Now it's just like, all right, bro. It ain't like you gonna hit 600. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's
whenever you
probably
ready
a
to
good
go.
point. So hey man, just hey, we'll celebrate when you're gone, but god damn, it's been a little since you've been. But no, I mean it gets old, it happens. But I think that's a very good point, honestly. So I think that leaves us with the last tier, right? So these are the teams that, according to this guy, the beard that is red, playoff bound. If you got money to bet on them, throw the house on it because they're making the playoffs according to that guy. Who do we got? Yankees, Mets, White Sox. Love to hear it.
I was about to say, hold on. And none of them teams, I don't believe in none of. I believe in the White Sox, but outside of them, I
They
don't
might be
believe
the
in the
worst of those
Yankees
three.
or the
I'm just
Mets.
kidding.
No, they might be. It's weird, man.
Baseball is a
It's a
weird
weird
sport.
year in baseball,
Very
even
weird.
for
There's
a
like
weird sport.
I'd say there's 6 teams. Like usually there's always that one team in every sport where you're like, okay, like last year the Lions in the NFL, the Heat in the NBA playoffs. Who would you say for college? UConn? I mean, I know they were better, but I mean they're. I don't think anybody really truly thought they were gonna win it. Like
I mean, I don't think anybody thought San Diego State was gonna go to the finals.
San Diego State, I think that's a better. I think that's a better one. Like San Diego State for them, for the women, LSU, they were long shots. I mean, I feel like they might have had a better chance. I mean, it's one of those things. There's always like that one team where it's like, oh, this is awesome. Baseball, there's like 8 of them. There's like 8 of them. There's seriously, it's like every team, and then there's the Padres and Yankees who suck. But like we said, we're talking about playoff teams, so
Real quick, just to throw something in at that, you know what's crazy about all that? As crazy as this year has been, and as crazy the amount of teams that have gotten better, and the amount of teams that we're talking about right now with the chance to make a run, I guarantee you, it's going to be Astros and Braves in the World Series.
you know what's crazy? I feel like this is the second time I've heard that from somewhere else. Might be time to check what it's on the books.
Now, if you pull that up, I'd bet it right now with you.
No, truly. But no. While I look it up, give a go ahead. Tell us who you think. Obviously, so we got the Astros and Braves making the playoffs. If a few people can't
Astros,
understand.
Braves, Toronto, Orioles, Rangers. Those are the
Um,
guarantees. I should have
so hold
probably
on.
put the Reds in the
So
one before this.
the Rangers. So we'll put the Reds in the wild card. Just bump them back real quick. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think we need to talk about the Reds too much. I mean, they're a young team. They're a lot of fun. Ellie De La Cruz is just running all over the baseball field. I think it about sums it up. You already talked about it a little bit before, young pitching, but
Yeah, you know what scares me, man? Just real quick, just the Reds. I can see them just reverting back, and I've been so scared of it. And they haven't done it yet, but I can see them just literally ending up with a losing record somehow this season, just because they're so young.
yeah, they are very, very young. They got a lot of young guys, and then Joey Votto. You know what's funny? I don't know if it's just because I'm a Yankees fan or what, but there's literally, I'm trying to find the World Series stuff as we're talking. There's literally a segment. It's like, Mets or Yankees to win the World Series. Yes at plus 11,000. No, minus 3,000. Why is that even a thing, man?
Why is it plus 11? It should be plus 1,000,000.
That's it. Is not like it's not a lot because I can't find. I won't. Oh, here we go. It's under name the finalists because I couldn't. I was trying to find the name the finalists. Braves and Astros plus 1,200. Yeah, we're gonna While you're
Yeah.
talking, that's crazy. The scroll bar is about to change right now. Right now, we're adding that in. Because I do really like that, honestly. I think that the Astros are going to get hot. They're going to do something. And I think the Braves are just really good at baseball. And I
This is
mean
crazy
really
to
good at
say.
baseball.
Real quick, two teams we didn't really talk about. We talked about Philadelphia. We haven't talked anything about the Miami Marlins.
Oh, yeah, they do need some loving, too. Give us some Miami Marlins love. What you like about them?
8.5 games back from the division. The
Mind you,
Braves.
by the way, people, for those of you who follow baseball a little bit, no Jazz Chisholm for like almost this whole time, basically, right?
Yeah. No, it's been strictly pitchers that you gave up on, like Jesus Luzardo. Um, Alcantara has had an awful season,
Yeah,
and they are
he's
53 and 39. Jorge Soler, who I haven't heard one person talk about, should have
that
been in the
boy.
home run derby last night, has been carrying his team,
That
putting
boy's
them
raking.
on his back. The fact that Miami is 8.5 games back from the Braves in the NL East, and you got teams like the Phillies and the Mets 5 or 10 games back from the Marlins. The fact that the
The
Marlins have a
Marlins.
3.5 game lead on the Phillies, it's crazy to me, man. You look at the Marlins; they're one of the best teams over the last 30. They are 19 and 11, right there with the Giants, behind the Phillies, Braves, and Reds. Literally one of the best teams in the league the last 30 days. I think they have the experience and the team to keep it up. Sandy, who knows, man? Alcantara, he was a Cy Young last year. He can definitely have an amazing last 2 months of the season and really bring it home for him. But I can see this Miami Marlins team not only being in the playoffs like they were in 2020, but winning a playoff series like they did in 2020. And not to mention, I can't not mention your boy. He just got 2 hits last night. Luis Arias.
Is he still over 400?
Have no idea.
But hey, I saw some people make some money off that first hit. Plus 500 to get a hit in the first inning.
That's crazy.
Woo! Yeah, I've seen that floated on Twitterverse. By the way, I'm not gonna blame Derek Jeter, but it's kind of crazy that he's gone and all of a sudden they're winning. I'm not. Baseball's a weird sport, so they don't have the
You
best
know what's
player in the
crazy?
winning.
I
But
thought he gave up
who
right
Jeter?
when they got good.
He might have. I mean, honestly, I won't lie to you. Now that he's an analyst and everything and doing that, I feel like he kind of had to like probably sell the team and everything. But it does make you wonder, like. I wonder, like, if it was just a life choice, like he wanted to be basically like a side analysis where he doesn't have to do as much to get paid, or just what it was, because it's like
I
they
mean,
are really good now.
from what I understood, he wanted them to make a trade to bring in a superstar. He wanted a Juan Soto. He wanted a Shohei. He wanted an
Man,
Aaron
imagine
Judge.
Juan there though.
Yeah, he wanted something like that to happen. And the general manager's like, nah, we're not doing that. And he quit because they couldn't come to an agreement on what they should do. But if you just look at this team, man, Garrett Cooper, very underrated hitter. Yuli Gurriel, not the other one, very underrated hitter. John Segura, all he does is get base hits when they need it most. Joey Wendell, everybody knows him as a straight up baseball player. In the outfield, Jesus Sanchez, one of my favorite switch hitters in the
Ooh,
game.
that boy. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's how he
that
says it or not, but
a damn fool, man. And then you got Jorge Soler just designated hitting just bombs. Bombs over Baghdad as it's probably not cool to
like that
say
one.
anymore. But pitching wise, Johnny Cueto is reviving his career every year. People thought he was supposed to retire 10 years ago. He's still going hard. Braxton Garrett, I love what he's doing this season. Jesus Luzardo, 2020, he was one of my favorite pitchers with the Oakland A's. Um, him and Denelson Lamet kind of went two different directions from the Oakland A's organization, but Luzardo has just been flat out killing it. The southpaw on the mound for the Marlins. I love everything this Marlins team has to bring.
Yeah, I'm sorry if it seemed like I was ignoring. I heard every word you said. I was trying to find some stuff while we're going. I'm with you, man. This Miley Marlins team is like, especially with one of their best player out, best pitcher not playing the best, and they're having a guy having an historic season. They're having about just almost everything you can basically have to have a team just be very magical. By the way, I was looking up some of these teams for the playoffs, and you can only bet on two of them to make the playoffs, and they're both minus 200, minus 300.
I'm
Do you
starting to get scared, man. It's been so popular betting.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask. Do you like so these playoff teams? Do you like them to win? Are these your division winners then? Basically, would you say? Is that like, obviously except for the Rangers and Astros because one of those teams have to win? But What is it? Braves. So basically, yeah, Braves, Blue Jays. I guess Orioles too. I guess can't. But other than that, dude, basically are those the teams you see probably winning the division? I would assume.
Uh, I could run it through real quick.
Go for it. Yeah, give us the division winners because we're basically at the about the end of it anyway. So yeah, who do you like to win the divisions?
Two teams we haven't talked about yet to make the playoffs, guaranteed. Diamondbacks and Dodgers. I'll just throw that out there.
I feel like
Don't
those
even.
are those are love
I
it.
think the Diamondbacks gonna slide a little bit here, but I don't think they're gonna slide enough to miss the wild card. AL East. We just talked about it. I like Toronto. I also like Boston as a
Plus
long going
1100, plus 8,000
long
for those
shot.
two.
AL
Juicy, juicy.
Central. I'm a die on the White Sox.
Plus 2,500 right now.
Dying on that bridge. I mean Minnesota or Cleveland. But when you just look at the record, like when you see 8 games back, it looks crazy. But when you look at 38 wins compared to 45 wins, it's like,
And
bro,
yeah,
it's right
that's
there.
you put
One
like
good
you
week.
want to go back to a basketball score. You see
Yeah.
38-45. You're like, okay, okay, okay. The
Two
boys like
stops,
it.
baby.
That's it. You
Defense.
get one stop is 5, one more stop is 3. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's a great way to think about it. 8's not a lot compared to whoever it was. I was down like 15 earlier. We were just talking about.
Yeah,
Got no
yeah.
shot.
Give me the Astros, AL West. I think the
Plus
Rays win
100,
this.
even money right now. Rangers minus 110.
I know I'm mad I didn't pull the trigger on Astros like plus 190 like a month ago, but I didn't. But I think they got it, man. I don't. I think they're about to be the hottest team the second half of the season.
Cause
I
let's
think the championship hangover is wearing off. I think they're starting to look in the mirror like, hold on,
now let's talk
we are
about
the
it real
best team
quick.
in baseball. Yeah,
About what the Rangers did. I just briefly talked about it as we're going through. But all the stuff the Rangers did, we talked about. I don't know if we've talked about it too much, but it's been talked about on all these baseball shows. The Rangers, 5 All-Stars. They're having a great season. They signed Aroldis Chapman. That's how many games the Astros are back. And they've had a very mediocre season. So it's plus 100. I mean, I feel like, yeah, you're getting something decent right there.
and if you look at just this weekend, I mean, Astros about to take on the Angels who got everybody hurt. The
Oh,
Rangers about to go take on the Guardians who are fighting for something. So
grab
I
the
don't know, man.
brooms.
I think the Astros can take this division pretty soon before August and hold on to it. They
I'm
got
with
some
you
of the
there.
hottest hitters in baseball. You and I know as a White Sox fan, Jose Abreu slumps the first 3 months and then becomes the best. Somehow ends up with 100 RBIs every season. Uh,
Somehow. My boy Magic.
Jordan's coming back this weekend supposedly. I don't
Jose's
know
only
why.
getting healthier.
Yeah, Altuve just got back in the swing of things. Alex Bregman, LSU Tiger, still looking like the Alex
Hey,
Bregman that we
shout
know.
out. Hey, I just noticed the shirt too, honestly. I wonder, hey,
Yay!
love it. I knew the World Series, I didn't realize it was the LSU one. Perfect.
2023, baby.
Representing, we got baseball everywhere, baby. Your shirt's definitely a lot cooler because you
2023.
won, I think, decent money off them boys. I just watched
You know
along.
what sucks? 650 is the only odds I can get.
That's not terrible. I just feel like the books are probably just throwing out numbers. Like, I just don't make anything too big. Feel like they don't
Yeah,
care
they
about
had
college baseball.
it was like Wake Forest 350, LSU 650.
Oh yeah, they just.
I was hoping I can get them at like something nasty, man. I don't know. I like catching futures big, bro. Sometimes they're not even worth betting if it's I don't know $600.
So before I get the monologue, obviously, you got D-backs or Dodgers. I think Dodgers win division, right? D-backs will still get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I've had the D-backs as a wild card even before the season. I definitely got the Dodgers winning the division.
Dodgers are minus 300 now, and the D-backs are basically minus 456. I think, or about 450. So they're basically about what you said. But yeah, hey, appreciate you coming on, man. Before we end it though, like we said, you gave out a few futures last time you were on. Any updates on any more futures you would like to share with the people? Anything you want to give out that you think that people should be, or at least anything you want to give out that people should be at least looking at, keep an eye on, watch the odds for? You got anything in mind?
Oh, I will say this off the top of my head: Nathan Evaldi, Cy Young.
Ooh.
Um, I wish I could pull up odds right now. Hold on. I
I'm
can't.
pulling up as we go. So is he American League or National League? He's national, right?
American.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the MVP. That's what messed me up. I saw Jose. Valdi plus 1,200 right now for the Cy Young. Favorites,
I like it.
Valdez at 200.
Yeah, I don't think Valdez should even be in the conversation.
It's
I
Valdez,
think.
Cole, Gossman, McClanahan. And that's the four in front of him.
See, I got Baldy at 800.
Right now?
I mean, I will say this: if you can get Cole at 400, I double down. I got Cole at like plus 2 something, plus 400.
I got 300 right here, so I mean, hey, it's basically right there.
Yeah, I think it's. I hate to say it, I think it's going to be out of Evaldi, McClanahan, or Cole, man.
Hey, you got plus 1,200, 800, 300 right there.
Yeah, I would definitely get some native Evaldi in my life if I don't have it already. Shane McClanahan playing for the Rays, who I think is about to have a drop, which will definitely take away from his love. I think the Rangers are going to continue to be hot, which will give Evaldi that boost. And I think Garrett Cole, I think he's going to win it, but
only Yankees All-Star, baby.
I would definitely look at Evaldi back there at plus 1,200. I mean, I got Gallen on the other side. There's really nowhere to go on the other side if you want to look for steals.
Plus
I've heard some people
for
talking
Gallen.
Zach Wheeler down there at plus 1,800.
That's a little spicy.
It is. I mean, I don't disagree with it, but I don't agree with it. But
you got a sprinkle. Why not? If you got a little sprinkle plus 1,800, maybe throw a quick little 5-10 on it, knowing that you probably ain't getting that back. So just plan on a day you want to go to McDonald's. Just don't go to McDonald's. Bet on that, and you might get McDonald's times 10. That's the best way to look at it.
Yeah, man. And of course, the Rookie of the Year.
That boy Volpe.
Ellie De La Cruz is making a run for it.
Man, he's been having a hot 2 weeks.
I know, but he still ain't catch Corbin Carroll, man.
I don't know. I feel like unless Corbin Carroll gets hurt, I feel like he's done a little bit too much. Literally, unless Ellie De La Cruz steals home like every other game, I think Corbin Carroll's just been amazing this season. I feel like it's just like he's gotten so far in a good lead that he should feel. I'm not gonna say feel safe, but it should be pretty comfortable, I think. But shit, Ellie De La Cruz plus 280 is not bad.
And I don't know if books offer this to everybody, or everybody's books has this, but I'm saying regular season hits leader. You can get Bo Bichette at plus 200. I like that.
Oh, I don't know if my book has that. I got a 40-40 special for Ronald Acuna, which
What's
plus
the number
money.
on that?
Plus money.
He's definitely getting it.
Plus 164 right now for yes. Will Ronald Acuna join the 40-40 club? That's the only thing I have. Oh wait, Spencer, you said. Oh, they don't have anything for the hits for him, but I do like that if you can get plus money too. Bo Bichette is just. I won't lie, I fell in love with Bo Bichette after the home run derby this weekend.
Yeah.
Just watching him be a clown. I wasn't, because I'm a Yankees guy. I can't love the Blue Jays as much. So I got a little. He's just a goofy ass dude. Best way to put it. He really got me with that. Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
I just love it. That boy speaks some Spanish, not a lot of Spanish or whatever. I don't even know what. Yeah, that's the cool thing about baseball. There's so many different languages that and we'll end with this. Unless you have any other futures to give out, really.
I mean. We kind of talked about it earlier. National League pennant, give me the Braves at plus 160. American League, give me the Astros. I can't find the number. Plus 400.
Here it comes. Look up top. Here comes the futures. You're about to see a new edition. Braves Astro World Series plus 120. Knock on some wood. Plus 120 has been the magical future number for your boy.
You got that plus 120?
For the Braves Astro World Series, yeah. Or no, sorry, plus 1,200. Sorry. That's what I meant.
Bro, I can get it plus 1,200, bro.
1,200. Sorry. Let me add a zero to that thing. That thing is a little juicy. My fault. Too excited. Trying to wait for it to scroll by so I can end the show. I want it to pop up. It's like basically we're filling some dead air now. How's your weekend going? No, I'm just playing. Thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate all the support and everything. My guy, love to have him on. Hopefully we'll make this more of a thing now. Because yeah, now that obviously as people can see. We got us both on the diamond, figured some stuff out technology-wise. That's a W in the book for us. So yeah, hopefully we can get some stuff going. But yeah, we'll see. I gotta keep up. Just have to let him know, man. Honestly, just gotta let him know. We'll see what's going on. Hopefully we can get him back on. Love having you on to talk baseball because your boy don't know shit. He knows a little bit, but not a lot. Football's mainly my thing. Before we go, real quick, Saints, the win of the division plus money. Do you like it?
I love it.
As a Saints fan, by the way, just want to and before we go, one more. I just got one more bet to ask you. Saints over under. Have you looked at it yet?
I have not.
Before we go, I know this was a baseball episode. We got the Saints over under 9.5 wins at plus 120 for the over, minus 140 for the under. That's a really good line. That's a really good line. Because I want to go under right there, 9.5. I mean, Derek Carr ain't that good.
I hate to say the under sounding like the one to me.
Minus 148 though. Yep. That's a lot of juice, but I mean 9.5. That's crazy. Yeah. Again, though, thank you everybody for watching. Yep. You want to talk about the Saints real quick?
Saints, just knowing the Saints, they're not getting 10 wins. Knowing Derek Carr, they damn sure not getting 10 wins.
Hey.
But I would be rooting for them.
Hey, I might have to ask you some opinions here soon. I got the surprise people. You'll be watching this AFC South breakdown coming tomorrow from your boy. Basically, yeah, a few hours after this launch. So when I go to my NFC South breakdown, gonna have to hit you up for sure and get some insight. But again, thank you so much for coming by. I really do appreciate having you on. Sorry for the wait. I feel like I should have had you on more, but stuff keeps happening. Glad we could do it, baby. Thanks for the support. Nothing better than talking sports. You said it best. And I will see everybody tomorrow. And then for those of you who watch the show together on Friday, I'll see you all on Friday on his show. Peace, everybody.